Hello, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I am really glad you're here. Today's date is Wednesday, May 3rd, 2023. And in this video, I'd like to take a look at a recent escalation in the conflict over in between R and U. Apparently, there was an attempt made to end the life of President Putin using drones. And it was foiled. He's fine. Let's take a look at some information I have. Now, I am going to be discussing a news site that I don't have a lot of trust in for some of the alt media chatter, but that chatter is backed up by some of the other sources that I'm providing to you. So take in conglomerate, I think this is still a valid topic to be asking the universe about. I'll explain as we go. And as always, there will be a link to this Facebook compilation in the video description box for this video. Okay, so Russia claims that drones attacked the Kremlin in an assassination attempt on President Putin. They have declared that retaliation is going to occur. They are dismissing as simple lies that escalation will be nuclear, but they do say that they are now calling for the end or death of Mr. Z in the U country. Okay, now if you look at this disclosed TV link I've got here, you can actually see they, especially at the 8-second mark, you can see the drones. Then there's a YouTube. YouTube should love this. I'm using a YouTube link here for reporting on that. And then the site I said that I have some reservations about because they definitely have a mix of fact and fiction in what they report. Real Raw News, here's their Twitter, but their website today had a story. And I'll discuss that after I get off this stop share. Now, according to Real Raw News, 45, Mr. T, called Mr. Putin and congratulated him on surviving an attempt on his life. They discussed the origin of the drones, which apparently were made in my country. And the fact that those drones, I believe they're switchblade type, have only a 25-mile range, meant that they were dispatched very close to the Kremlin. So they didn't come long distance, intercontinental, that type of thing. And at the end of that article, it relates that the conversation was friendly throughout, and they even got to joking about how each has survived many attempts to end their life. And according to the article, Mr. T mentioned that he had 17 attempts. And not to be outdone, Mr. Putin said he had 34. Now, 34, 17 times 2 is 34. Mr. T's had a lot more than 17 attempts on his life. A lot more ever since he came down that escalator. He may have had one or two just as a, well-known public figure and rich person and, what have you before that. But definitely once he threw his hat in the political ring, he's had so many attempts on his life. And my personal belief is that without some very benevolent and even divine intervention, he would no longer be with us. But thank goodness he is. All right. And I do believe he is. Now, I do believe we often see stand-ins just for safety because he is the face of a lot of change for our world, not just my country, but for the world. But I do believe Mr. 1.0 is still alive. All right. But that doesn't mean he's not. He could be in space, interdimensional, who knows? I mean, our world is so amazing. Our plane of existence is so amazing. We have no idea. I am hoping to get my socks knocked off on a number of topics like this in the very near future. But for tonight, let's ask the universe if there was some coded communication going on in that conversation. First of all, we're going to ask about the veracity of the conversation, because again, that site is a blend of fact and fiction. If it's the veracity is confirmed, then was there a calm involved by saying 17 attempts on mine, 34 attempts on mine? Let's find out what the universe wants us to know. Okay, 1 second. Okay, what does the universe want us to know about this reported conversation between Mr. T and Mr. Putin? And are there insights and information after we confirm the veracity of that element of the report? Insights, information, including whether there's comms involved. All right, let's find out. I think Mr. T likes to do his comms either directly in his social media posts, his rallies, things like that. But it could happen in a quote. It could happen in reporting. So I thought, let's find out. So again, we're mostly looking for veracity, and after that, insights, information, and possible comms. We have the 3 of Pentacles, King of Swords, one of my White Hat Alliance and Mr. T cards. Then we have the 5 of Swords, the 4 of Pentacles. We have the 8 of Pentacles, 9 of Wands, and the 2 of Swords. Okay, I'm going to give you an overview of what I'm seeing here, and then we'll talk about what elements in the cards led me to say that. As always, there's kind of a blend between the intuitive element of my video and then the information that comes from the tarot. All right, well, first of all, we were asking for the veracity of that report. And I'm getting a yes, he did. There was a phone call between the 2 gentlemen. Absolutely. Some communication going on. Again, because not only is the King of Swords my Mr. T card, but quite often the swords stand for written and spoken words. So kind of confirming the phone call. We're also getting told that these 2 gentlemen have a very good and considerate, respectful relationship with one another. Again, I'll make no secret of the fact that I think that Mr. Putin is Putin 2.0, but Putin 2.0 has been a very good leader and not taken to world domination attempts, things like that. Again, his action in the country that he has taken some action in had more to do with medical facilities, shenanigans, things like that, and just the ongoing persecution of his Russian compatriots who were trying to live in that country. They've been hurt for years and years. All right, now, in the recent past, we have a strategic win going on here, so that the attempt was foiled. It did happen. It was successfully foiled. And in the current, we have the moving forward, with current and non-moving forward. There's going to be some careful consideration. The response is going to be measured. And it may be that this whole apparent proxy war is getting ready to come to an end, and one of the ways possible endings may be to have President Z exit stage left with the help of who knows what. So it's not going to be a full-on incident we have to worry about. This isn't going to be what any scare event is hinged on. There will be a price to be paid, but it's going to be measured. Okay, it's also going to be extremely skilled. Okay, I mean, seriously, the Russian army and have capabilities to do long-range planning that would rival the Chinese. They can do a long game just like they can, and they've got good strategists. And this is a military operation. It'll be a military response. It will be done skillfully, and it won't be, they're not going to just go to blasting and causing great harm in their response to this. Okay. Determination card here showing too. So they are going to put together a response that is very, very well thought out, strategic. They're determined, okay? And they're also somewhat patient. So if they need to wait a little bit to get that objective fulfilled of responding to that incident, it's still going to happen, very much going to happen. Let's get a couple other cards and see what we're getting information on here. Okay, they're going to be successful, first of all, absolutely. And then the Queen of Swords is a very, she's perceptive and objective and wise. So again, bolstering the fact that their response will be measured, skilled, successful, and pretty awesome. Now, I'm not getting, because we don't have that many swords coming up other than indicating their relationship and indicating a willingness to wait here. I'm not thinking that while the conversation does seem to have happened between the two, I'm not getting any information that the 17 and the 34 was specifically part of that phone call. It may simply have been the writer's discretion to use those numbers, knowing that it would pique the curiosity of people who follow 17. Okay, let's recap. We were asking for if that supposed communication that happened between Mr. T and Mr. P had really happened, and then if there were layered communications involved with that, and other insights and information. Well, we didn't get any confirmation that there was comms within that report. Okay, in fact, I think it's rather more likely that the writer chose to use numbers that would gather the attention of people that still follow and have some credence and belief in the 17 posts and communications. Okay, but we did get some interesting information. First of all, there's a good relationship between Mr. T and President P. Absolutely. They're on firm grounds. We also got the confirmation then that Mr. T was involved with that communication. So that we did get, that there was one between them. Okay, now the attempt on the Kremlin on killing Putin 2.0 kind of confirmed here. It was foiled. Okay, they were successful in foiling it. They're going to respond. If you hear chatter that it's going to be a global escalation type of thing and nuclear, it's going to be a very measured response, okay? Calculated to be effective and not catastrophic to the rest of us. Got a lot of skills and strategy going on the part of the Kremlin and those who work on their behalf. And we got some information that they are going to be successful in their response. So while we don't need to worry that this is going to be the catalyst for a scare event and all those other things, we did get that however they decide to respond to that attempt on assassinating Mr. P, they're going to be successful in responding to it. Okay, that's it for this video. I thank you so much for your time and attention, very, very much. And so this Wednesday night, as we get over the middle of the week, let's be watching. It's an important week. There's a coronation happening on Saturday, and Mr. T's in Scotland and playing golf ostensibly, but there may be some other meetings going on. He had a nice interview with Neil Farage, but I listened to it, didn't hear any comms in it. He was very respectful, and I think he was very aware that he would be speaking to a population different than in my country and one that's less awake. And so he was the epitome of diplomacy and tact, no matter who he was talking about. And so for his naysayers that say you can't do that, you're wrong. He can. He can be Mr. Tact when he needs to be. Okay, well, until next time. I send you love and light. And guys, follow current events, but don't get anxious about them. Don't absorb them. Okay. Observe, don't absorb. And if you can't do that, unplug for a while. Because you know what? The world's going to go on. Absolutely. Events will happen. They'll unfold. Things will be fine, or they won't. But either way, you have to do your self-care. And a part of that self-care means unplugging a little bit. Go ahead and do it. I'll be here when you get back. Love and light. Bye.